Today I want to share with you the top benefits of mushrooms, why they're such powerful tools that you can use in your life to improve yourself, to gain new insights, new ideas, and to help you live life and help you align with your highest destiny. So number one is mushrooms tune you into your soul. It's like a recalibration. Taking shrooms is like having the best psychologist on the planet looking inside your mind, being able to see every flaw and every success of your character, and being able to gently work with you and guide you and give you homework and heal certain parts of you and illuminate other parts of you. It feels like someone just goes inside your mind and rearranges the furniture and makes it super neat and tidy. Another metaphor I like to use is it's like someone goes into your hard drive and defragments it, and everything just falls into its proper place, and your mind is running more smoothly, faster, speedier. That's one of the benefits I find every time. Every time I do a trip, it feels like someone tunes me up, you know? The next benefit is downloads and homework from the universe. I find that on every single mushroom trip, I will get insights about myself. I will get downloads from the universe about what I should be doing in life, the next steps I should take, homework that I should do to work on myself and to progress further in my character development. This type of homework and insights doesn't really come through words. It's not like a voice speaking to you during the trip. It comes through a knowing. I get flashes of images, flashes of insights. It's like when you have an epiphany. The idea just comes fully formed in your mind. I find that mushrooms they're also really good at looking at what's been bothering you lately and giving you solutions to that. So if something's really been bugging me the whole week and I'm trying to resolve a problem with someone or something, the first half of the trip is usually working through all that bullshit. All of the stuff that I've been negatively feeling about will float up to the surface, and the mushrooms will shine a flashlight on it, and they're going to get to work on it with me. That's the work. That's maybe the hard part of a mushroom trip. That's where you get the lectures and the insights and the lessons. And it might not be comfortable, but it is always helpful. And then the second half of the trip is usually where the mushrooms, they've done the work with you. You've healed some stuff. You've gotten homework to work on. And now the mushrooms show you timelines and possibilities and magic. And what I mean by that is I usually start seeing what my dreams could look like or what they could come to fruition. It's like the mushrooms want to show me the highest version of myself, and they want to show me the possible timelines that I could reach if I keep doing the work and if I keep doing the homework and if I keep pursuing the path with the most courage. It's like I get a visual and a feeling of the highest vibrational reality that I could reach. And this usually comes in the form of ideas for businesses, ideas on following my soul's calling, ideas on what my purpose is, on what I'm here to do, even ideas like to generate money. The mushrooms are not agnostic to giving you practical advice. I find that I've often received very practical ideas on business and money and entrepreneurship exactly when I've needed them. And other times they'll give you more spiritual lessons if that's what you most need to work on. The next benefit of mushrooms is that it stretches my idea of reality. The things that I see on mushrooms, the things I experience on a deep trip have blown my mind. And it's not just the visuals. When you're on shrooms, your reality gets stretched and molded. After you've done a few mushroom trips and you've seen the crazy things that you could experience, you open your mind up to possibility. The mushrooms stretch your mind. And all of these 3D limits that we have, they disappear. They get broken. And you learn to see reality as much more than you previously thought it was. For example, It used to be that synchronicities and manifestations would have this surprising and shocking effect. But after doing mushrooms, they've become commonplace. They've become more regular appearances in my life. And it feels like I'm upgrading my idea of what's possible in reality. When you stretch the limits of your mind and you give your brain evidence that more is possible, more becomes possible for you. More opportunities, more shortcuts in life, more synchronicities, more manifestations. And I find that mushrooms are really, really good at stretching the mind into new possibilities, showing you that there's more magic in life than maybe you've previously thought of. Another benefit of mushrooms is that they raise your frequency. If I'm going through a rough time and I haven't been able to come out of the funk, if I'm experiencing maybe some mild depression or I just feel stuck in life, mushrooms have been amazing at getting that energy unstuck. Now, some people will say, don't do mushrooms if you're in a bad mood. I have a different perspective on that. I think that if you've been in a bad mood and it's been going on for a few days or a few weeks or a few months, mushrooms might be exactly the thing you need to break loose from that mindset, to break loose of that stuck energy. And it doesn't mean the mushroom trip will be easy. It might be a really tough trip. And I've had those tough trips where I've gone into it knowing that I have work to do, that I have resentment, that I have anger, that I have depression, and that if I take these mushrooms, it's going to work with me on those things, but it'll be tough. What I find is that the first half of the trip is where the tough part is. That's where the work gets done. That's where the mushrooms are guiding you and they're telling you what you need to learn, but you got to do the work. You got to cooperate with them. You got to dance with the mushrooms. And if you're not dancing and you're resisting, that's where people have bad trips. But if you accept that the mushrooms are there to help and you accept the feelings that come up and the frustrations that come up and all the emotions that you've been holding back, and you allow the mushrooms to work with you on those emotions, you're going to come out the other side. You're going to find the light and you're going to have an epic trip. It might be tough in the beginning and in the middle, but I always find that the end is where you've broken through some limits. You have done the work and you will feel the joy of coming out of that, of the other side. And it truly does raise my frequency. I feel like after I do a deep mushroom trip, my energy is skyrocketing. My manifestations come quicker. It feels like I'm on another frequency and that the mushrooms have given me an upgrade in reality. And then you get caught up in life again and you come back and you need another tune-up, perhaps. But over time, with consistent trips, maybe once a month, I have noticed massive changes in myself. I find that you do end up progressing over time, and it might take more than one trip to feel like you've made permanent changes. But every time things are getting chipped away at, every time there's layers that you're uncovering. And so it might take 4 or 5 or 6 trips before you look back and you go, wow, I've really grown here. It might not just come from one trip. The final benefit that I want to talk about is perhaps the most important to me. And that is that mushrooms have brought me closer to God. You might call it source. You might call it the universe. I feel so much more connected to not only my soul, but the entire consciousness container of reality. There's something profoundly spiritual when you do these trips. And I find that for me personally, it's really connected me to God, and it's brought me a long-term relationship with God that I did not previously have. I feel like through mushrooms, I have built a relationship with God, one that I can turn to even when I'm not tripping. This is maybe the most mystical part of the shrooms, is that spiritual component that is hard to put into words, but you feel it. You might feel it watching a sunset while you're on shrooms. You might feel it while you're tripping alone in your room in pitch darkness. You might feel it while listening to the most beautiful music you ever heard. There's this deep, deep connection. Connection is maybe the word that most describes shrooms for me. Connection to your soul. Connection to the shroom energy. Building a relationship with the shrooms. Connection to God. Connection to nature. Connection to the sunset and the trees and the birds. And connection to life itself. Life with a capital L. You know, we tend to sometimes go through life going through the motions. And I find that shrooms brought me into alignment with life. That bigger thing. It's bigger than you. There's a destiny to it. There's a purpose to it. There's a bigger picture that when we're in our 3D human selves, we don't always see it. And on shrooms, you zoom out of your life and you see your expanded self. And you see your life from a totally new perspective, a more expansive perspective. So that alone makes shrooms for me an incredible tool. Even if I didn't get the benefits or the insights or the homework or the practical advice that I often get from shrooms, being connected to the universe. It's almost like in the movie Avatar, when they connect their tails to the tree and they're connected to the tree of souls. That's kind of what shrooms feels like. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions about shrooms or psychedelics, reach out to me at jamesxander.com and I'll be happy to help you. Take care of yourself, trip safely, and I hope you experience the magic of life today.